Hey everybody, happy Friday. I'm excited. Today is episode 1 of Your Modern Day Mentor. Hi, I'm Tyler Mohr. I'm a mentor here at Mohr Success and Significance. I hope you can tell I am excited. Today is the kickoff of our podcast, of our weekly episodes. So excited. If you're here or if you're watching this on the replay, drop me a hashtag replay so I know that when you are watching this, that'll just be good information. Be kind of curious to see where people are picking this information up at. So again, welcome and super excited to get this kicked off. So like I mentioned in the description, we're going to cover a couple things today. The first one is we're just going to kick things off. We're going to do a little intro, and then we're going to get into some content today about your best days are now. Super excited to bring you that message. But like I said, I'm a mentor here at Mohr Success and Significance. I mentor millennials in life so that they can build assets, so that they can have more success and significant choices in life. I'm deeply passionate about that. Hope you can tell I'm excited. So just a little bit of an update, or I would say summary refresh. So mentorship, we're going to cover, well, what is that really? I think that's kind of a buzzword. People throw that around a little bit. So we're just going to cover that a little bit in terms of getting on the same page. And then we talk about mentorship in life. Well, what does that mean, Tyler? I get that question a lot. So, well, what does that mean? That's kind of broad. Well, let's break it down. In my opinion, there's five areas of mentorship in life. Very kind of broad. Physical health, personal development, education. There is finances or career. Sometimes those things can go together, sometimes not. Like in my case, self-employed, right? Business owner. And then relationships is a big one. And then the final one is what I would say spiritual. Better way to put it may be a cause and a purpose that's greater than yourself, right? Those are the 5, right? So physical health, personal development, relationships, finances, and career, and then a cause and a purpose that's greater than yourself. So those are the 5 areas that when I am working with somebody that I kind of tend to bucket together and talk to them. What areas are you looking for? Where do you feel like you're good? Maybe you want some work on them. So those are the 5 areas that we really look at, and I feel like that really encompasses a whole individual. So what is mentorship then? Well, so in the simplest form, mentorship is a form of a relationship. It's usually a medium to long-term relationship. A year and longer, I would say, to really be effective, because you're getting to know people at a deep level, I think, to really be effective. And I would say it's just not a short relationship. It's not a couple weeks. It's not a couple months. It's typically medium to long-term. And then the best way that I can probably explain that relationship of a mentor to somebody is primarily, I say this because sometimes they can be paid, but primarily the mentor relationship wants something for you, not from you. So that relationship is there to give, right? To help, to assist, to equip, to encourage the other person. And that's why I think it's such a great relationship. It's such a great opportunity for people if they can get in partnership with a mentor. A good relationship, a good mentoring relationship, which I've seen poor ones. And there are ways to do it more effectively. And I think at their core, in your relationship, maybe if you have a mentor, ask yourself this question: does this person want something primarily for me or from me? And if it's from me, then I'm not sure that that's a great mentoring relationship, in my opinion. So that's the basis, I would say, that I walk people through when we talk about, well, what is mentorship? What are the areas? What are we focusing on? What's the duration of the relationship? So just kind of give you quick kickstart there about what we're talking about and what we'll continue to build on with all these episodes and other content on my Facebook page. So I think you can tell I'm pretty passionate about mentorship. And so why is that? So many of you know me pretty well, maybe know my story. Some of you might be new and you might not. So I'll give you a little bit of background. So rewind 7 years ago, and I found myself, I was in the corporate organization. It was going really well. I had 3 young kids at the time, younger, they're still young, but younger kids at the time. And I had just made a decision because I wasn't very satisfied in my workaday world. I was an employee, and I just wasn't getting as much significance from that opportunity as I'd wanted. So I made the decision that I wanted to go in a direction of owning my own business, building my own business. And I was excited about that. And a few months into that, probably approaching a year, I can tell you I was burnt out. I was frustrated. I felt overwhelmed, confused. I didn't know where to go next. And I felt alone, honestly. I think that's the best way to put it. But what happened actually is I was golfing with a friend, and it was a friend from work, and he and I had started to confide in each other, and I flat out asked him, his name was Shane, and I said, Shane, would you ever pay for mentorship? And the reason I asked him that was because I was so desperate to find somebody else who could help me. I was looking around all of my personal circles to find somebody, family, friends. There was, I actually went through my church organization, and literally nobody would say, yeah, I'll sit down with you for a cup of coffee. I'll sit down with you for 5, 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and just let you pick my brain. Understand where you want to go, Tyler, in the next 1, 2, 3 years, and see if there's anything that I've already went through that could be beneficial. I was desperate for that type of help. I was desperate for that type of knowledge and wisdom, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And in one conversation with Shane on the golf course, when I asked him, I was like, hey, Shane, so would you ever pay for mentorship, pay for coaching? And he kind of snickered at me, and he goes, no. And it hurt a little bit because that was an honest question. And I was getting the door shut in my face. I was getting slammed. And here's this guy is a good friend of mine. And he kind of said, no, he kind of shrugged it off. It's like, why would you even think about that? Now, what I didn't know at the time is that he was already getting mentorship. So his perspective and my perspective were so different because that was something that I was so desperate for and he had already in his life. And shortly after that, once he kind of said, after he kind of smiled and he chuckled and he said, no, I wouldn't do that because I already have mentorship in my life. I have somebody who is pouring into me. And thus began my journey of going down that road. And he started to that was my first experience with mentorship. I've had other experiences since then. And he started to show me about where I could go about finding these things. So that is my first experience and why I'm so passionate. Because without that conversation, without that first mentor pouring into me, really about where I could go find mentorship, I wouldn't be anywhere in the position that I am today. And not just, many people say that and they talk about finances, career, profession. That is one, and that's a very popular form of mentorship. But I would say in my relationships with my wife, with my kids, with other family members, with my friends, in my personal growth and development, probably first and foremost, I look back at the person that I was 7 years ago, and in many ways, I'm embarrassed. And I have to apologize for things that I was doing back then. And that is a testament to mentorship. Cause and a purpose. I would say at the time I was searching for something that I could be passionate about, and I hadn't found that. And I was well into my 30s, had not found something a cause and a purpose that I could get passionate about outside of myself. So it's not just in those finances, not just profession, not just business. Large pieces of that for sure, yes, but in so many other areas. was that mentorship important and kickstarted me on the direction that I was in. And then, so I think from there, I wanted to share with you like why it's so important, why I'm so passionate, is because I am first and foremost a product of that. I'm still a work in progress. I still have mentors today that I plug into weekly, if not daily at times, but that is why I am so passionate. And so quick announcement, I'm also really excited to share with you that we are going to have, it's actually right down here, in the finishing stages, because it's been so helpful for me. We're putting together a piece for you. We're calling it our must-have mentorship menu. It's going to be a 101 baseline foundations of everything that you need to get started on a positive, constructive mentoring relationship. Like, what is mentorship? What does good mentorship look like? How to find mentors, and some things that you may have to do to be prepared to have a good mentoring relationship. So I'm super excited about that. That is going to be hot off the press. Look for an announcement here very soon about how to get that information. I'm excited to get that into your hands, and so you guys can go start your journey in finding partnership with a great mentor. All right, so let me just check my notes here. So let's get on to the topic for today in our episode 1. So the topic for today is your best days are now, right now. So what this came to me is I was actually listening to something, and they was talking about the slogan or the saying is, your best days are ahead of you, right? It's kind of a encouragement, right? It's a positive thought, right? That where I'm at right now, my best days are still in front of me. And I think that's a great vantage point to have. It's obviously better than the other one, which is my best days are behind me, right? That's not a very uplifting thought. So it's definitely uplifting to think my best days are ahead of you. But I want us to think about this. We talked on my Facebook page, I put some content about this week about being present, just how important being present in the moment is. And I'd actually ask you or pose this, is that I think most people put way too much emphasis on the past, like what has happened. This is who I have been. This is what I've done, because that's behind us. There's nothing we can do about that. And the other piece of that is in the quote that I shared with you about your best days are in front of you. I think they also put too much hope, or they put too much expectation in the future, because the future is not guaranteed. Tomorrow will come, for sure. But the only time we have is today. The only time we actually have is right now. And so I wanted to encourage you to, yes, let's have the positive mindset of our best days are in front of us, for sure. But also think, no, my best day, my best moment, my best time is right now. What am I doing now? Am I present now? Am I in the moment? What is the most important thing for me to be doing right now? And so the power of now, I want to remind you guys through this, especially as we come into a long weekend, might take some time to reflect. Maybe it's not a time to be busy. We're obviously celebrating here in the U.S. Labor Day. But maybe it's a time for you to take some time, reflect, pause, be present, celebrate maybe with family and friends in the now, and realize just being reflective and enjoying the moment, being present in the now. Because once you are present in the now, I think that is where you can then start to change your future. All right? Well, I've appreciated the time today, guys. Thank you for letting me introduce this podcast, a little bit of our mentorship philosophy, what it means to be a mentor. Be on the lookout for that resource, our must-have mentorship menu. I'm excited for that, to get that in your hands for people who want to start a journey of mentorship and what that might look like. I'm really excited. I'm excited for this podcast. We are going to be here every Friday, 9 a.m. Central, to pour into you guys. Be your modern day mentor, something you can have on your phone, access wherever you are. So like I said, my name is Tyler, and I want nothing but more success and significance in your life. So have a great long weekend, and until next time, we'll see you later.